Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey, what's up? This is Tyler Caruso from Absence of Despair, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I am your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather, and as always, I am bringing you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a huge privilege to have Mr. Tyler Caruso. He's guitar and vocals of Absence of Despair, and Absence of Despair brings heavy-hitting anthems, ripping, intense metal grooves, blended with addictive hooks, and they are set to release their new album, Desolate, September 13th. And we're going to be talking to Tyler about all this. And this album is going to be released independently. And kudos to these guys for doing it independently, but it's very hard also. So we're going to be talking about all this stuff. So, Tyler, how's it going, man?
Pretty good, man. How about you?
Doing awesome. Glad to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll see you next week. No, joke, kidding. Kidding. I only
Good
kid.
Good talk.
Yeah, good talk. How's it been working with Adrenaline PR so far for you guys?
So far, Adrenaline has been amazing. They've been surpassing, all of our expectations and really getting us out there, getting excellent press, such as yourself. So I have nothing but great things to say about them, man. They're an awesome team.
This is Absence of Despair's new album entitled Desolate. In today's music world, some bands only put out an EP, let alone an album. How does it feel to be able to put out an album or EP, especially independently, on how today's music world is, man?
It's definitely, a uphill battle, but it's a challenge as well. But overall, when you look at it with the big picture, and you can actually get it out to people to hear. And, when, you're on the road and people singing the words back to you, telling you, about how certain songs help them through rough times and stuff, that makes everything all worth it. It's definitely, tough doing DIY releases these days due to funding and all that stuff. But big picture is definitely well worth it.
I'm glad you said that, the DIY method. Having that, doing it the DIY method, and having the control to do what you want and sound what you want. Do you guys like this via having somebody to, we're going to release this record on, say, Megaforce or somebody like that? Do you like to have this control and freedom? Yeah,
it's definitely a great thing, when, there's pros and cons of everything, especially with releasing DIY versus, label back. And the plus side with doing a DIY is, like you said, you can have control over all artistic privileges, funding and stuff that's based on you and your, bandmates, as to budgeting and stuff. But, it's definitely tough doing it DIY, but, it's definitely worth it because you just get all the freedom in the world to, tour when you want, such as that and everything. So it's pros and cons, but, when you do have a label backing you, you have a little more consistency and, more funding to make things a little easier, you know what I mean?
What's impressed or excited you the most about making the album Desolate, if anything? What stands out or sticks out for you personally, Tyler?
For this record, I'd say it's just, we've always been, traditional metalcore. That's our roots. We're from New England, so we have all the metalcore greats up here. But, so with this album, we really, wanted to, just create, a lot of emotion in the songs, but also have it be catchy as well and have, really intense sounding stuff.
How crucial is it for you guys to add that, but still stay true to your roots, though?
We're the kind of band that we never want to put out, the same record twice. If you listen to, our catalog, everything sounds a bit different, especially album to album. We always want to, keep our roots in mind, but also, we're not afraid to venture into, new realms with music. So we're always open to everything.
How long did it take to write and complete the album?
Well, I'd say this album took roughly about a year from writing and then recording. During that time frame of writing this record, we went through a couple different drummers. So, our new drummer, well, he's not so new anymore. It's been in a couple of years now, but, this is our first time writing with a new drummer and everything. Luckily, we all meshed perfect with him, so it ended up working out really well.
What has he brought to this band that, and I'm not knocking any of the other drummers, but what has he brought that may have been missing possibly, other than, he's a drummer, of course?
Yep. Besides him, being a drummer, likes to bang on shit. I'd say the biggest thing, that he's brought is he's a few years younger than all of us. We're all in like our mid to late 20s, and he joined when he was 19. He's 21 now, but he just brings that youth to us. Not that we act old at all, because believe me, we're immature wrecks most of the time. But he just brings that youthful spark. You know what I mean? As you get older, it kind of dwindles away, and he just keeps us in the game, and it's awesome to have just like someone so into it.
Jesus Christ, you just made me feel like I'm ready for the retirement home, man.
Sometimes I do too. It's ridiculous.
I'll be 40 in October. You're like, yeah, we're in our 20s, and we're we got this young guy. He's only 21. I'm like, what?
Yeah, he's a little baby Mikey, we call him.
but he keeps you on your toes, though, for sure.
He does. It's excellent addition, perfect for this band.
Any tracks standing out more to you than any right now on this album? I know it must change every time you listen to it or every time you guys talk about it, but do you have any that stand out for you possibly, Tyler?
I'd say our track Fearless on this album is definitely, one of the most out there, pieces of music on this CD. With that one, we really, got really deep into the emotion of it. And we purposely wanted to, have a song, written to be like likable for all music genres. So we have like, I don't want to say poppy, but, there's like a very hooky, poppy chorus that's infectious, but yet, has bridges and, some breakdowns in it that are actually, pretty fucking heavy. So that song just kind of touches like all realms of music. So we're hoping that everybody that listens to the CD, definitely finds something they like, at least in that song.
Was it hard to choose between the current set of songs, which one would be the first single or a video possibly you guys wanted to release or push first? Or was it hard, was it hard to choose between that, or did you have some outside help on this?
We went with the, when we were picking out, 3 singles worth for the first 3, we all were kind of around the same realm. Like we had each of us pick out like, your favorite 2 songs, 3 songs. And then we all pull them together and see. So we're all like on the same track for most part, but it's, it gets difficult at times to, suit, everybody's, wishes when it's, different people. But, we actually ended up talking to our producer, Josh, in the studio as well, when we wrapped everything up to, see what he thinks for singles as well. Then also talked with Adrenaline, and, we all came together and picked, 3 of our, strongest, eclectic songs for the singles.
What do you hope everyone takes away from, or message you hope they hear while listening to any of Absent of Despair's music in general? What do you hope someone takes away from your music when they listen to it?
Honestly, just to, be empowered and, realize, like you get one life, do what you want with it, enjoy it, make sure you're happy. If you're feeling upset, you have struggles in your life, we have songs to help for that kind of stuff, to always persevere, keep your head up no matter how dark everything may seem. So we just want, everybody to take a positive outlook from this album. We hope it helps people, during rough times. We just hope it does great.
So being a band that's, I guess you started out, 2008-ish, something like that? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's, when we first started, we didn't actually start, doing touring and real stuff until about 2013. But yeah, that was the start, the OG start.
So being that young of a band still, and you guys are still a young band, do you find it harder now to have your music discovered since there's so much stuff out there right now?
That's something, I I argue with myself every day, thinking about, how the industry was, say, 10 years ago versus how it is now. And, it's a great time to, have people discover you and actually hear the music, because we have, excellent things like Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, all these great streaming things, plus social media is ridiculous. So, it's really easy to get out there, but there's just so many, bands and people, all wanting the same goal. So, it's just, you really just have to stick it out and persevere, to succeed in this industry now.
It's very true. Very true. And there's so much that you have to sift through. And I do it on an everyday.
Oh, yeah.
I do it on an everyday plate, man. I mean, it's every day. But there's a lot.
Yep, I hear you.
There's a lot of good stuff out there. You just have to dig for it.
Yep, exactly. Couldn't agree more, man. There's just so much material out there. It's really hard to listen to everything.
Desolate was recorded, mixed and mastered by Josh Schroeder. He's actually worked with For the Fallen Dreams, King 810, The Color Morale, at Random Awesome Studios in Midland, Michigan. How was working with him on this album for you guys?
Josh was amazing. He is, a great guy, a great person in general, but, he's just all around awesome to work with, because with this CD, we spoke with him prior, obviously, sent him pre-pro and everything. And, he's like, all right, we'll work on, some production ideas in the studio and take it from there. And, he was just like, we had like these, great ideas, and he just helped, mold them a little bit more into like the vision that we had. And he was excellent to work with. We tried all kinds of crazy effects, a lot of creativity going on with that guy. So kudos to him. He's amazing.
Working with him for you guys, did he get stuff out of you that maybe somebody else in the past has not gotten out of you guys, you think, possibly working with him?
Absolutely. He, definitely helped us all get out of our comfort zone a little bit. Like when you're recording CDs, different producers all work different ways. And, Josh was, just like one of the most efficient, and creative producers that we've ever worked with. He would just be able to like picture us as like a nice orange. He'd just be able to squeeze the juice out of us and, get like the best juice rolling. He was great to work with, man.
And that's how metal they are, folks. Metal as a fucking orange.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love that vitamin C.
Who did the artwork for the album, man?
We actually went to this guy, Ben Hoagland. He's actually in that band, Extortionist. He's in that band. And, we were looking for artwork for a while. And, we really wanted, a certain kind of look and idea. And we started looking through all different artists and saw his. And so we went to him. We chose between a few, and he had the best. So that's how we got with him.
Do you see this band, Tyler, still musically growing from where it started, or has it just been more of a personal growth for all of you guys involved with this band so far? I'd
say we're definitely, still growing always. That's something about, being a musician. You never stop learning. You never stop evolving, and especially, just you as a person, grows every year, changes, learns new things, and that definitely reflects in the music as well.
Yeah, and I wish bands would not be scared to go outside that box because, yeah, you're a metalcore band, or yeah, you're a black metal band, or yeah, you're just a strictly heavy metal band. So what if you go outside that box? I mean, that's just experiencing extra shit you can bring to that to your music, man.
Exactly. We're very all open-minded individuals. Like, that's what, gives us, what I would like to say is a pretty unique sound with metalcore. All of us, our guitarist Dylan, his favorite band of like all time is Led Zeppelin. He's a big classic rocker.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Me, believe it or not, I fucking love country music. Nobody would think it, but we all listen to a little bit of everything, which is, really helps when you're, in the creative process of writing music.
Did you just say country?
I did. I'm crazy, ain't it?
I feel like getting ready to do like a John Goblikon thing. Ooh, Jerry, what did you do? Get him off here. Get away.
It's crazy, yeah. I just take inspiration from everything I hear,
Hey, you like what you like, man. I like bluegrass. I'm not afraid to admit it. I've said it several times. I can listen to heavy shit and then go straight to Bowling for Soup and into a bluegrass song. I mean, I'm all over the place with stuff.
And music's great, man. The more the merrier.
Now, do you like the old school country or do you like this new crap?
I like old country a lot. I do like, some of the new stuff just because it's, catchy, and it sounds good to the ear. But I love Johnny Cash, George Strait, and Johnny Cash. Those are, my top. So for sure.
I remember, and I'm sorry, folks, I'm taking away from the interview, but we're bonding. Okay. No.
Yes.
I remember going fishing with my father when I was a little kid, man. And this is one of my coolest memories about him. Like, we had this old station wagon, and it's an old fucking station wagon. It had an 8-track player in it, okay?
Oh, shit.
Yes, he had George Jones. He had Kiss. And he had a Johnny Cash. But he played the hell out of that George Jones 8-track every time we would go. And I'm like, oh, God, please.
That was awesome.
And he would absolutely fix the 8-tracks when they got screwed up. He'd cut them and he'd tape them back. And I didn't realize when I got really deep into music, that's pretty much essentially what they did the old school way in recording albums. They cut the tape, splice it back, and I was like, holy shit. My dad used to do
it's
that.
crazy. Nowadays, music software is so easy to, just like write music right into your computer. It's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, it is. It's true. That's very true, man. What does Absence of Despair bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now, if anything? I mean, I know no one's reinventing the wheel, but what are you bringing to that wheel to add?
Say, definitely, we're going to keep progressing. We always want to stay true to, metalcore roots, but we always want to venture out more. So, with us, we're going to keep bringing a lot more, anthematic choruses, hard-hitting bridges, everything. We're just going to, the next album as well, just bring everything to 10.
The sound that you guys have right now on this album, is this what we can look forward to on the next album or EP on down the road, or what?
I'd say, each album is like, a different era for this band. That's how, I like to view it. So this album, is a very, very angry, vibe and, trying to, cope with anxiety kind of vibes to the whole thing, and so next album, it might be even heavier, depending on how we're feeling and, what we're writing about essentially. So you never actually know with this. We're always going to keep evolving and changing.
When you're coming into the recording studio, do you like to do anything different during the writing and recording process? I know that's two concepts. To help keep your mind fresh and open, to not get bored with it, to not get stale? Do you do anything that helps you out possibly?
Yeah, in the studio, all of us, when we go in there to work and get shit done, of course, first and foremost. But, there's a lot of waiting in the studio as well, and there's a lot of parts that, times that you can get hung up on something and, your brain just kind of, gets a little bit of a block. So we actually, we got a couple extreme gamers in the band, so they bring, they'll bring the PlayStation with the TV, for the back lounge room when we're in the studio to keep, the mind off of certain things if you need to. And, we all actually, we all smoke a lot of weed, so that helps us, stay creative, fresh, relaxed. So that's pretty much what we do, man.
What can fans expect at a show from Absence of Despair who have not got to see you guys live as of yet? What are they going to get when they come to see you?
They can get hit in the face with a lot of energy. When we play live, we put 110% effort into it. We want, people to feel the energy of the songs. We want people to feel the emotion of the songs and everything. So just expect, a good old time and lots of energy.
What made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you that said, yeah, I want to try this or do this?
I always loved music, my whole life. But the thing that, made me want to, fully decide on becoming a musician was when I saw Avenged Sevenfold when I was a young kid. I just saw them on stage and fucking looking like rock stars, playing like the coolest sounding shit to my ears, shredding on guitars. And, right then and there, I was just like, all right, I got to do this. There's no way I can't. So that was the spark, essentially.
They do have a lot of great music, but man, where I cover a lot of festivals, that's all you used to see is Avenged Sevenfold headlining every single fucking one of them. And I was like, all right, I'm backing off.
Oh, yeah.
I'm backing off for a little while. Just
yeah.
Like, goodness
yeah,
gracious.
It was on them a lot for a while.
Oh, yeah. Well, they got great music. I don't blame them wanting to headline them.
Yep, exactly.
Is there a country that stands out or shocks you that Absence of Despair gets support from, or your music even gets played in those areas, possibly, that you could tell?
We have, quite a few people in Germany, according to our Spotify and, on Facebook posts and stuff. So we have a little fan base out in Germany. So hopefully, soon, within the next year or two, we can get across seas, do an overseas run. That would be excellent. It's always good to, branch out, make fans and see fans everywhere you can.
What does that mean to you, though, when you're seeing stuff like that and in the way music is today and you're seeing that from overseas coming in with direct support for you guys?
It's just like, it's pretty great. It's to be able to, be a bunch of dudes from smallest state, in the whole country, just having your music reach like 6,000 miles away and people loving what you do and what you create from scratch. That's like pretty amazing feeling, because people can, be liked by a lot of people, for who they are and everything. But when you're liked for your craft and like what you create for people to feel, that's just like huge and, super inspirational.
Is there a band on the bucket list that you would like to tour with, work with, or maybe even do an old school album split with? Maybe.
Say Slipknot, man.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, I love Slipknot. They were, one of the first bands that got me into metal when I was a kid. I remember going in the grocery store with my mom and looking at the magazines, and I saw Hit Parader and Circus with them on it and Mudvayne, and I was like, holy shit, this looks awesome. These dudes look fucking insane. Let me see what it's about. And ever since then, I fell in love with metal.
What do you think of their new album?
I love it. They definitely, went back to a lot of their roots on this one, which is amazing. But also they still, went into new directions, with different kind of choruses, all kinds of different stuff they added in. So this album's a solid 8.9 out of 10 from me. I love it.
Yeah, this album for me, there's not a bad song on it, and that's just my opinion. I mean, from start to finish, there's nothing bad on it at all.
Yeah, no, it's excellent, man. It's well produced, it's raw, still sounds clean and amazing. It's excellent Slipknot record.
Yeah, and I mean, for somebody who loves music, there's no way that you can sit there and fast forward through each song. I just don't see how you could do that.
Yeah, their songs are really fun on this CD. There's all kinds of crazy changes, and it's not your traditional verse chorus. There's just all kinds of crazy shit in it that is super creative and awesome.
Do you have a go-to album or song that lets you escape when you were young, or maybe even now, possibly? Do you have a song or album that lets you still do that today?
Yeah, honestly, I'd have to say Slipknot's Self-Titled. That album, impacted my whole life and my whole, mindset of loving metal. So I'd say that album. Like the other day, I was just listening to it on my car. I was driving, and Surfacing came on, and I was like, oh, I haven't heard this song in particular in a little while. And I let it play, and it just took me back to, like, when I was a kid, not feeling like I fit in, and just, like, feeling like listening to something like that was just, like, inviting, and it was just, like, let me know, like, hey, you're good. You may not fit in with these people, but fuck them. You got metal now and bands like this, and there's a whole bunch of people across the world that, feel the same way and are impacted the same way by the music you're listening to. It makes you just feel like a family,
I totally agree. And here's my thing too. I was just talking to my friend Josh Krim from Downtrend about this just yesterday. You look at Slipknot when they first started. Look how many people that said these fuckers ain't going nowhere. I mean, look at them. They're masks and jumpsuits. I mean, they're not going nowhere. And look at them today, still doing the same thing, man. I mean, come on.
Yep, 20,000 seats. Yeah, ridiculous.
Exactly. So look how many doors got shut on them, and look where they're at today.
Exactly. That's why, we're all strong believers of, if you want something bad enough, like, go fucking get it. Do what you have to do. But if you want to be somewhere, get your ass there no matter how you do it. Just get it done,
There you go. Just believe in yourself and keep pushing forward. Eventually that door will open.
Absolutely, man.
Folks, you want to get out and pick up Absence of Despair's new album coming out September 13th, and it's going to be independently released, called Desolate. You want to get out and pick up this album. Tyler, how can folks stay in touch with you guys, buy this album, merchandise, tour dates, things like that when this all goes down? How can they do that, good sir?
Go right to our website, www.absenceofdespair.com. It has all of our updates, all of our tour dates, everything, our store, pre-orders, and as always, on all of our social media to stay up to date the best.
Before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for my show?
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, what's up? This is Tyler Caruso from Absence of Despair, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Please get out and check out our YouTube link, which has our podcast link, YouTube link, and soon our Twitch link. Please, it's very important that you guys go out and subscribe and like our YouTube page, because it's going to have anything and everything with this show up on it, and also our podcast link as well. Also, get out and check out Absence of Despair's new album, Desolate. That's going to be independently released September 13th, and you want to get out and check that out. Give these guys a fair shot. You won't be disappointed. Tyler, man, I wish you guys the best of luck, and you're always welcome back on here.
Thank you, man. You as well.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.